We are officially 2 days away from Survivor 50. Originally, I was going to talk about potential alliances, but I just watched all of the rap preseason interviews and ooh, it was juicy. In the interview, Mike Bloom asked them to play friend or foe, so I want to talk about who called who a foe and other tea the cast spilled. I've been uploading daily Survivor content leading up to premiere night, so if you haven't seen those videos, make sure to go check them out. Starting off with Joe, Joe talked a lot about aligning with old school players, and he pretty much said everyone was his friend. The only foes he said was Camilla, only because she called him the enemy during their season, and Savannah and Rizzo, only because he doesn't know anything about their game. You know, Angelina spilled all the tea. She chose to make her own categories: BFF, friend, or foe. In the BFF category, she said Suri, Aubrey, Coach, and Chrissy. She said Ozzy was a friend. And for foes, she did not hesitate to say Colby because she heard he called her chaotic. She said Stephanie is a foe too because he's aligned with Colby. She said she talks to Mike White every day and she wants to go far with him and Christian. She said if she makes it to jury, she won't vote for someone that won already. And she didn't say who, but someone told her to watch out for Genevieve. I was cracking up during Christian's interview. He said his foes are Stephanie, D, Q, Kyle, Rizzo, and Savannah. He said Colby might see him as a foe because he farted near him. He said Angelina because everyone assumes they're going to work together. And she's a mom now, so she's more driven to win. And I guess he sees that as a threat. And he said Mike White is a friend, but doesn't doubt that Mike will flip on him. Charlie didn't say he feel like he had any foes, but that Ozzy, Rick Devens, Jonathan, and Savannah might be his foes. And about Colby and Stephanie, he doesn't consider them foes, but he doesn't think that he'll be on the top of their list. Rizzo had a lot to say. I wonder if he'll keep that same energy on the island. He said his foes are Suri, Rick Devens, Ozzy, Emily, Q, Tiffany, and Camilla. He said all David versus Goliath are foes. And he talks about people probably kissing Mike White's butt to get on White Lotus and that he doesn't care about that. I also found it interesting that he didn't know whether to call Savannah or friend or foe. Suri didn't say specifically who her foes were, but she said if Colby was smart, they could be friends, but she senses he has alpha male fear of her. Says she would love to make it to the end with Ozzy, but doesn't know how he feels about her. She's scared of Christian because he's so smart. She said Mike White also scares her because he's probably done research on her. She said D gotta go. She doesn't know if Tiffany will value her as a player, and she fears the unknown about Savannah and Rizzo. During his interview, Kyle said he's not going to get caught up in the old era versus new era, and he said his foes are Coach, Chrissy, Mike White, Jonathan, Charlie, and Q. About Suri, he said if they can be friends, that's cool, but if not, he needs her the heck out of here. And he's cautious about Savannah and Rizzo. Q said he is going to lay low in the beginning. He's going to kind of dumb himself down so the players forget how chaotic he is. He said his foes are Colby, Stephanie, Coach, Aubrey, Chrissy, Angelina, Rick Devens, Charlie, Rizzo, and Savannah. He also put Christian, D, and Joe in like a subcategory of frenemies. He said Mike White would be a friend then a foe. And he said Suri is a friend, but he doesn't want to sit next to her in a final three. Coach seemed very zen, like more zen than usual. He said his life is different now. He's married and he has a whole new approach to the game. He said his foes are Jenna, Ozzy, Emily, Tiffany, Genevieve, Rizzo, and Savannah. And he said Angelina is a friendly foe. Aubrey only named Chrissy as a foe, and she's willing to work with the 49ers, Savannah, and Rizzo. Jonathan said his foes are Aubrey, Rick Devens, Dee, Charlie, Camilla, Kyle, Savannah, and Rizzo. He said Suri would be a friend at first and a foe at the end. He wants Stephanie to be his number one. And he talks about seeing what the fans would be voting for before he left, but obviously he didn't get to see the results. And he said if the fans voted for them to have rice, will him being able to fish be as valuable as an asset to the other castaways? Emily talked about not liking how she left the show, feeling like she had to be a softer version of herself. She said her foes are Colby, Stephanie, Suri, Angelina, Mike White, Rick Devens, Jonathan, Tiffany, Joe, and Kyle. She mentioned that Suri has her head down a lot and it doesn't seem like she wants to be there. And when Mike Bloom asked if Jenna was a friend or foe, Emily said that she's irrelevant and she doesn't remember her season. Genevieve said her foes are Colby, Suri, Mike, and Charlie, and she's most afraid of Tiffany and Joe. Stephanie didn't really name any foes, but she talked about Q reaching out to her on Instagram. Something about like, I don't know if he messaged her or he commented on something and she didn't really respond. So maybe he felt as if he ghosted her and now he's not really looking her way in Ponderosa. So I guess that was something she's going to be watching out for. Also, with no hesitation, Colby said that Angelina is his foe, along with Christian, D, and Q. And he said something about Savannah makes him want to work with her. Jenna said she wants all the players to underestimate her. So in Ponderosa, she's using a CD player, she's doing embroidery, she's trying to come off as least threatening as possible. And she said her foes are Suri, Coach, and Chrissy. Mike White didn't name any foes specifically, but that he would want to get Charlie out, and that winners like Dee and Kyle had their time. And yes, there's a typo right there, just ignore that. Tiffany said her foes are Colby, Angelina, Rick Devens, Emily, Savannah, and Rizzo. And she said Charlie is a frenemy because he wrote her name down. Camilla said her foes are Cerie, Chrissy, Christian, Mike White, Rick Devens, Emily, Q, Genevieve, Savannah, and Rizzo. Dee's foes are Colby, Stephanie, and Chrissy. Savannah said her foes are Stephanie, Cerie, Aubrey, Angelina, and Genevieve. And again, I found it interesting when asked about Rizzo. She said that it's complicated and that he would be a friend at first. Rick Devens said his foes are Stephanie, Cerie, and Joe. Chrissy said her foes are Ozzy, Dee, Tiffany, Joe, Kyle, Savannah, and Rizzo. She said she would be friends at first with Colby and Stephanie, but then they would turn into foes. And she kept repeating that winners gotta go. And Ozzy said his foes are Aubrey, Dee, Q, Camilla, and Kyle. Yeah, so I feel like the common theme is Savannah and Rizzo are on a lot of people's radars just for fear of the unknown. And a lot of people do not want to see a winner win again. I'll see you tomorrow for our second to last video of the Survivor 50 countdown. Now, since I've seen what everyone has said pre-game, tomorrow we can get into potential alliances. Make sure to give me a follow so you don't miss out.